What are you actually afraid of? Is it the fear of being seen and not getting it right the first time around? Is it having to start small while you're watching others make big moves? Or is it that if you actually show up, now that means it's real? Now you're responsible for something. Now the spotlight is on you. Now you are expected to actually show up for yourself. It's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be lonely sometimes. You're gonna find yourself standing in the mirror and you're gonna be saying, why the hell did I sign up for this? And guess what? You're gonna do it anyways. And if there's something in you that keeps bringing that idea, that move, that next big thing back up in your head constantly, that's not your imagination. That's your inner self. That's your inner self telling you that it's time for you to stop babysitting your fears and for you to finally raise the bar for yourself and show up for yourself. Have you ever thought about how many things that you've called your comfort zone that are just things that you have learned how to survive in? Not thrive, not love, just survive. We stay there because it's familiar. But trust me, familiar doesn't mean safe. And it damn sure doesn't mean that it's something that's good for you. So let's talk about what's really sitting underneath your comfort zone. The fear, the control, and a whole lot of pretending like you're just waiting for the right time when the right time is actually passing you by. So if you're currently sitting in your comfort zone while you're listening to this episode, this one is especially for you. So I want to officially welcome you to the I'm Just Saying podcast, the podcast where we keep it real about real life situations and hold ourselves accountable. The space where we treat each other like homegirls. We love on each other, we're honest, but we're also unfiltered. So if that sounds like your kind of vibe and you are here for that, make sure you follow the show. Now let's get into it. So the comfort zone. The place where you feel like it's soft and pleasant and filled with nothing but big fluffy pillows is all a facade. It's a lie. It's a place that you have created in your mind to make yourself feel like it's safe, but it's also the place where you're hiding from yourself. That's the place where you go when you don't want to risk being seen. That's the place where you go when you're feeling too scared to try again. That is also the place that you go when you feel like you're failing and you're viewing yourself as a failure. And trust me, I know the feeling all too well. I have sat on ideas for years because I convinced myself that I was not ready. I convinced myself that I did not know enough. I convinced myself that the timing just was not aligning. And trust me when I tell you, that was all a lie. You see, the truth is when we are in fear of things, our body automatically reacts and goes into protection mode. So what do? We start thinking about logical explanations that will talk ourselves out of doing the things that will push us, but you have to do it. You have to do it. It's all in your mind. The more you let fear control you, the more you are out of control of your life. Because all of that time that I wasted feeling like the time just was not aligning to where I was in life at the moment, the truth is, I was just too afraid to let people see me start from scratch. I was too afraid to let people see me fail. I was too afraid to let myself see me fail. I did not know if I was strong enough to get back up whenever the time came where I just may fall. I was too afraid to take the steps. So you create a fail safe. You can never fail if you never try, right? But you can never win if you never try either. How will you ever get to something greater if you're afraid of taking the big risk? If you're afraid of taking the big risk, you're definitely something worth betting on. And the biggest and best bet you can ever make is the one that you're going to make on yourself. But you see, the thing about betting on yourself is there's no amount of money that can give you the return that you need. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take a bunch of things that nobody else can give you. And that's the scariest part. But you just have to keep pushing through, because the outcomes will be amazing and they will definitely be worth it. Not taking those steps means that you are avoiding becoming the version of you that's going to actually get shit done. Just let that sink in for a second. Let it sink in, because you don't hate discomfort. It's not that you don't like it. It's the fact that you hate having to be new at something. You hate going into something and not knowing what you're doing. You hate the fact of going in and not being able to be the greatest. But we all have to start somewhere. The key is just starting. Because the funny thing about fear is petty. Okay? Fear is very petty. It pops up in your head and it will say the meanest, grimiest things that you could ever think of just to make sure you don't bust a move. It will have you thinking, what if people think I'm doing too much? What if I'm not good enough? What if I start and I can't keep up? What if I get to a point to where I want to leave this job and I end up broke and embarrassed and my business fails? But here's the twist. You already don't like where you are. So what would be the real loss? Because if your comfort zone was so great, you wouldn't feel this restless. You wouldn't be feeling low-key irritated every time you saw someone making a move that you know that you should have been making too. And don't fool yourself into thinking that you're mad at them or you're jealous of them or you're envious of them. No, that's not it. You're mad at yourself. You're mad because while you're watching people live their lives out loud, you have been keeping yourself quiet for far too long. And I don't say that to drag you. I don't say that to make you feel bad. I say that because I've been there. And in some ways, I'm still there. I used to shrink myself in front of people who were doing the things that I wanted to do or doing more than what I was doing at the time, because I felt like, do I know what I'm talking about? Does my opinion really matter? Do I have enough experience? Like, I don't want to look crazy. I don't want to sound crazy. I sometimes didn't even want to ask a question because, is that a stupid question? Is that something I should already know? Is that going to prove that I haven't been doing the things that I should be doing because a person in my status should know these kind of things? So embarrassed into the fact that I was holding myself back. Don't hold yourself back. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. Nobody gets behind a train that's not moving. So if all the people that you admire, all the people that are doing better than you, all the people that you feel are doing better than you, all of the people that are in places that you want to be, give them something to get behind. Make your train start moving. But the train is not going to move while you're sitting in comfortable spaces. So let me put you on real quick. If this episode already got you thinking, got you really thinking, then you absolutely need to download my free 5-day challenge. It's going to help you get on the right track. It is a 5-day challenge, and it is called 5 Ways to Check Yourself Before You Wreck Your Relationships. And before you even start saying, but Jess, I'm single, I don't even do it, because girl, I'm also talking about the way you relate to yourself, the relationship that you have with yourself, the most important relationship you will have with any human being is the one that you have with yourself. So if you have made it this far, then it was definitely meant for you to get the challenge today. So go ahead and download it. It's not going to cost you not 1 cent. This is going to be the first step to you getting your train moving in the right direction. This is going to help you figure out why you overthink so many things. Why do you constantly talk yourself out of stuff? Why do you find yourself staying in spaces where you don't grow? So go ahead and grab your 5-day challenge right now in the show notes. So now I just have to ask, what are you actually afraid of? What is it? When you picture your next level, what's the first thing that just makes your stomach drop? What comes to mind that just puts you in so much fear that it paralyzes you? And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Is it the fear of being seen and not getting it right the first time around? The second time around? The third time around? Is it having to start small while you're watching others make big moves, making big decisions, doing big things? Or is it the one that I struggle with? Is it that if you actually show up, now that means it's real? Now you're responsible for something. Now the spotlight is on you. Now you are expected to actually show up for yourself. Is that the one? Because I know that was the one for me. But here's something that I had to learn. You're not supposed to feel ready. Not feeling ready is actually a part of the process. You're supposed to feel called to do these things. That voice in your mind that just never goes away. You can't sleep. You wake up with it on your mind constantly and it just nags at you. You just can't get it out of you, no matter how many other side projects you try to do to distract yourself, because you were called to do it. And if there is something in you that keeps bringing that idea, that move, that next big thing back up in your head constantly, that's not your imagination. That's your inner self. That's your inner self telling you that it's time for you to stop babysitting your fears and for you to finally raise the bar for yourself and show up for yourself. It is time for you to finally make the moves that are going to get you in the spaces that you deserve to be in, get you the life that you've been wishing for. It no longer has to be a dream. It can be a reality. All you have to do is put one foot in front of the other. Now, I know people talk about leaving your comfort zone like it's this glow up montage. It's this grand thing. It's going to be so amazing. You're going to feel so freed. It's going to come with ease and all these other things. But the reality is it's going to be awkward. It's going to be lonely sometimes. You're going to find yourself standing in the mirror and you're going to be saying, why the hell did I sign up for this? You're going to feel all these things. And guess what? You're going to do it anyways. You're still going to do it. That's how you beat fear. You don't beat fear by not feeling fearful. You beat fear by feeling the fear and doing it anyways. I am someone that does not like to express myself too often. I do not like public speaking. I do not like hearing myself on the internet. But here I am talking to you, making videos every week, posting them every Tuesday at 7 p.m., showing up not only for you, but I'm showing up for me. Doing something that I have been talking about doing for forever. And I know, listen, podcasters have gotten such a bad rep. There are so many people that are like, oh my gosh, why does everybody have a mic? Stop selling mics. Get rid of podcasts. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. But I didn't let that stop me. I bought my mic. I set up my camera. I wrote down my notes. I pressed record and I started recording and I kept recording. Something really stuck out to me. I watched Tyler Perry do an interview and I can't even remember what talk show he was on. But he talked about how everyone talks about the kind of movies that he makes. Oh, why is Tyler Perry making these kind of movies? Why doesn't he try and do this? Why doesn't he try and do that? Although he has run those stories in the ground, he's good at it. He's good at those stories. Yes, they can be extreme, but he's good at extreme. Yes, they portray pain and hurt and grief, but that is what he's good at. That is where he thrives. And the funny part is, if he would have sat around and wasted any more time worrying about what other people may think or being too afraid or sticking in his comfort zone, hell, he could have kept doing plays. I'm pretty sure he was doing well from himself just doing plays. He could have gotten into doing plays and got comfortable and said, "Hey, look, I'm making a decent amount of money. I'm staying right here." But he didn't. He kept pushing and he kept pushing. Even when so many people was talking about his quality, his wigs, all kinds of things. But he kept going. And look at where he is now. You can get really far not giving a damn what people think about you. You can get really far not giving a damn about what people have to say. You can get really far not paying attention to what other people are doing because you're too focused on your own lane. You don't have to jump out the window. You just need to make one step at a time. Make one step that makes you uncomfortable, but do it on purpose. One uncomfortable step on purpose will take you a very long way. And that can look different ways. That can just look like you posting the thing that you've been overthinking, maybe applying for a job that you felt like you were not qualified for. Or maybe you just have to say no to people who only like you when you're playing small. So you have to be careful when it comes down to your circle, because some people don't want to see you grow. You can have 10 people in your circle and all of them have water and none of them will pour a drop on you to help you grow because they're too afraid that you're going to grow larger than they are. They're too busy worrying about, well, who's going to water me and help me grow? I'm not going to pour water on you if I don't know you're not going to pour water on me. They're pouring water on you. 3 people are watering you. Nobody's watering me, so you don't need my water. I'm not going to help you grow to be larger than I am. I said this in older episodes, but if you are stuck in a comfort zone that's not really a comfort zone, it's really a hiding space for you, this would be a good time to take inventory of the company that you're keeping. Because if you have a circle, if you have a group of supporters, somebody in your group needs to be that one that's going to tell you, hey, no, you need to get up. You got shit to do. And I'm not saying to take the responsibility off of you, but that's the whole point of having a support group. That's the whole point of having your friend group. That's the whole point of having your village. Adults need villages. Villages are just not for kids. When you become an adult, you still need a village. The only difference is instead of your parents creating the village for you, you are now responsible for creating your own village. And in creating that village, you have to know what you need. You have to know what you need. Sometimes you do need that person that's going to say, hey, get up. Hey, sometimes you're going to need that person that's going to say, you need to lay it down. Sometimes you need that person that's going to say, it's probably time for a vacation. Have you eaten today? Have you done this? Hey, we need to get in the gym. Have you done your yearly checkups? Sometimes you just need that person where you can just call the vent, and then you do need that person where you can go catch a happy hour, go have a good time, drink a couple cocktails. That is all a part of your village. Do not expect for one person to be all of that for you. It's not fair. You're automatically stacking the cards up against them to fail, because you cannot be what you need to be for yourself while also being all of that for someone else. So make sure you take time to do inventory on the people that are in your village. And if you do not have one, you need to start building one, because it's absolutely important. We cannot maneuver through this life successfully by ourselves. We were not meant to go through life alone. And I just want you to know that doing these steps is going to help you more than any vision board could ever. It's really cute. It's really fun to do all the cute things, but sometimes you just got to put the gloves on and you got to get real dirty with it. Sometimes you have to do the dirty work. There's no getting around doing the dirty work at all. And before we get out of here, let me say this to the girl that keeps calling herself lazy. You are not lazy. You are afraid. And somewhere along the line, fear convinced you that you were better off just not trying. But guess what? You are trying. Even just listening to this episode is a sign that you are trying. So give yourself some credit, but also stop giving fear the control. Stop giving fear the power. Take back the mic, because the version of you that you keep on dreaming and praying for, she's not waiting for the right mood. She's waiting for a decision. A decision must be made. So what is it going to be? All right, ladies. So if this episode gave you something to think about, please make sure you share it with a friend that needs to hear it. Make sure you follow the show. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, are you currently stuck in your comfort zone? And if you are not, I know you probably once were. Please share, how did you get out of your comfort zone? And don't forget to grab your 5-day challenge. Link is down in the show notes. It's free and it's yours. And with that, I'm just saying, but sis, what are you saying?